Eating Tide Pods, a self-defense lesson. The first question is, who in the world would eat a Tide Pod? Lots of them doing it. I just saw a headline on some news that said that there's someone from a college heading to the hospital today because they ate a Tide Pod. People eating Tide Pods know that they're bad for them, that they will make them sick, that they're extremely dangerous thing to do. Why are they doing it? Most of them are kids. They've got this peer pressure. If the group tells them do it or you're a sissy, they actually do it. I mean, sounds crazy to me, but I guess, I'm not a high schooler either. This whole thing gets into the type of society we live in. Most of us don't quite get this kill over respect. There are certain cultural and socioeconomic groups that respect is everything. They will kill over being disrespected. I think it was the first 48 episode I saw sometime within the last year. A guy got out of his car. He thought his friend was in this other car. He hit the car a couple times, saw it wasn't his friend, turned around to leave. The guy got out of the second car and shot him dead because he felt disrespected. The guy came up and beat on his car. And I'm sitting there thinking, who would do that? Disrespect over respect? Oh, you disrespected me. I killed you. I felt I was completely justified. That's because I don't come from that background. There are societies, people, groups, I guess especially when you think of gangs, respect is everything, and they will kill you over it. To be disrespected to them, they'd rather be beat to a pulp. I forget the reference, but I know it was the genocide in Rwanda. They interviewed a man who had hacked many babies and children and women with a machete, and you know what he was afraid of? Going against the group that wanted him to do that. He was far more terrified of not being part of his group than of macheting people. I mean, this is crazy to me how especially gang think and these groups that absolutely don't want you to disrespect them. I mean, I guess we can think of even in cultures, certain countries where it's a respect culture. Again, most of us aren't from such a thing, and we can't comprehend what it's like to be in a respect culture, to be willing to die and kill over a slight, over a put down. But they're out there, and hence, I guess the self-defense lesson is one of the big ones is don't go to stupid places with stupid people to do stupid things. That's been said many a time, but one of the things I give a talk to my instructors when I do instructor training, read about the monkey dance. Please get Rory Miller's Facing Violence, Meditations on Violence, and anything else the man writes. But he does a very good job of explaining the monkey dance. And you know what that is. You're in a bar, someone looks at you. What are you looking at? I'm looking at you. The next thing is we walk up to each other, we chest bump, fists fly. I tell my instructors, my students all the time, how do you know who that other person is? They may have killed many a person in their life. They'd kill you and walk away and it wouldn't bother them. You don't know if they have friends around that would certainly do the same to you. Why would you ever want to escalate? Learn how to de-escalate. The guy in a bar is looking at you. Hey, what are you looking at? What should you say? How about, oh, hey, man, my old lady just hit me with divorce papers. I'm zoning. I'm just staring. Let me buy you a drink. I guess the older people are like, yeah, there's no sense in... When I say this around the young bucks, you see them kind of puffing up like, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, you're going to get yourself killed. Again, you do not know where that other person is from, what culture they're from, what they're willing to do if they feel slighted or disrespected. We need to learn to smile, not make eye contact. I'm sorry. I guess especially if I'm talking to Krav people, this is hey, we're all about this. We're learning to self-defense. Well, the best part of self-defense is don't get smacked. Don't get to where you have to use self-defense. Self-defense is truly recovery from stupidity or bad luck. Learn to walk away. Learn to apologize. Learn to make things de-escalate rather than to escalate. I guess especially I'm talking to my young guys out there. They're strangers. If they laugh at you as you walk away, they forget about you 5 minutes later. You forget about them 5 minutes later. How about we learn not to go into the unknown? Now somebody's in my house attacking my family, that's one thing. Yes, I am going to fight through that. Somebody calls me a name. I guess my personality as growing up especially was always to be a smart ass and to pipe off and to talk back. But I guess as I get older, it's like even if you win, you can get sued, you can go to jail, you got recovery, you got broken bones, you're hurting. It's like, well, why even bother? So, I guess advice is you don't know what their background is. You don't know if they're from a respect culture. I mean, absolutely learn to apologize and, hey, man, it's cool. I'm sorry. I didn't mean. Walk away from people. I guess this goes back to the people eating Tide Pods. If my friends were egging me on to chew a Tide Pod, I don't know. I guess at my age, feeling as good about myself as I do, I'd tell them all to drop dead. I'd tell them after you eat 10, maybe I'll eat one. This is crazy stuff. But learn to de-escalate because you don't know much about the opponent.